Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode from the Data Over Coffee, where we discuss data stuff, data topics, data pains, data challenges, everything about with data
Everything data.
in an informal way with my friend Arju, and of course, always with our coffees in the hands. And I see that you have a new cup, so good on you, Arjun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Just
yeah,
treated
no,
myself.
nice. Today we have an exciting topic, which is Notion. Notion for analysts. I haven't used it much to be fair. Actually, Arjun been encouraging me to start to use it to do this podcast. But to be fair, because you know that you ended up with so many applications and always you're trying to find what is the best one.
Yeah.
I think that I have my one, and I hope you today you can change my mind. And this is what
Okay.
I'm here today to discuss it. So let's jump into it. But before of that, I would like to check out Arjun how things are going for you.
Hey, Ramon. Things are going pretty good. Pretty busy, but good overall. Yeah. Just working on the website and then on the projects. Sometimes I don't know. It becomes really difficult to manage everything. Because there's so much that you want to do and there's so much that you need to do. The question then becomes, what should you do? How do you do it? So I think, yeah, I am doing good, but I would love to get your insight on how do you manage it, man. I mean, it becomes very difficult.
This is what a reflection that I was mentioned to you just before to start this episode, and it's because that we do many things. Of course, we are the hybrid, and then we can relate on that. So we have our full-time job, but
Yeah.
at the same time, we have our side hustle that we would like to turn it into some point to be our empire somehow.
Yeah. Oh, no, 100%. Yeah.
Yes, it's
I,
like how we get to the point that because our secure jobs give it to us stability,
yeah.
we learn and also we experiment and also we work with great people, but at the same time we have this desire to build our own business.
Hmm.
And the thing that I was just want to mention to you is that we want to have the best website. We want to have the best YouTube channel, the best marketing ads, the best
Yeah.
company, the best image, the best this, the best
Correct.
product, the best software, the best blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. But finally, it's like, would you like to get another job? Would
Hmm.
you like to get another hobby, or would you like to have a new money stream?
Hmm.
And that ended up to me to think, and like, for example, if you get, I don't know, let's say 100,000 in your current role, just to put a number,
Hmm.
but then you say like, with my side hustle, I've been working for 1 year and I've been making $20,
Yeah.
and then how much time you have invested on. So
Hmm.
instead of you work as a contractor, you have the 100 and then you then 10 hours and then
Yeah.
you get $2,000 more a year. So that is I think one is the most challenging part as when you have your side business is like when this is start to make money, and when this actually start to become something that, because I don't know you, and probably same as with this new era and generation, that we want to create our money making machine. It's
Yeah,
like
of course. No, 100%.
we
Yeah.
put $100 and we get $120
Yeah.
out.
And
And
there's no harm in doing that, right? Like
of
if you
course,
can,
of
you
course
should.
not.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I mean,
mean, who would like to have their own machine, money machine? But at the same
correct.
time, we are committed to what we do. We're doing this podcast for free. We do this ethical thing that we would like to make the people's life much easier.
Yeah.
And it's so much pay on that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like how we can maximize our efforts. And I don't have the whole answer for you now. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
It's just that, but definitely to keep your energy high is to start to drop the things that doesn't bring value to the things that you do nowadays.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I have to quit to think that it will create a great impact,
Hmm.
but I feel like actually it's not creating the right impact. But I committed to say that I will be doing it. No, you
No, I
need to
think
drop it.
yeah. I think you shouldn't drop it because Personally speaking, I know and I'm sure that you're creating a very good impact, very positive impact, and you're inspiring us and people around us by your LinkedIn posts and by the messages that you share. I think you're doing really good in that
Thank you, man.
sense. I have been inspired by you and watching you juggle so many things at once, and I think yeah, that is one thing. What keeps me up and motivated to continue doing this is the why behind the work,
Yes.
you know. And I think this is what we mentioned, or this was the topic of discussion in the migrants in tech presentation as well. The why is very important. So for me it is like, I am doing this because this is the legacy that I want to leave behind. This is what I want to be known for, and this is my way of helping others even if I am not there. So that is the why that is driving me to do all these things and manage everything. And when you have that strong why, right, it becomes easier
Yeah.
to manage so many things at once. But yeah, and this is where Notion comes into picture. So before we drift away, this is
Nice.
exactly what Notion is. Notion
All right.
helps you manage so many things at once. And Notion is, I have been using Notion for a while now, and I think okay, let's start with you. How familiar are you with Notion? Have you, like, how much have you used it? What are your thoughts?
Mm,
Let's start from
I'm
there.
I'm not familiar with much with Notion. I found that it tend to relate to Microsoft OneNote.
Mm-hmm.
I feel from my side that it's similar. I went into it and I found that it has so many other features.
Yeah.
However, within these features, there is a cost that comes, not a
Mm-hmm.
cost in price,
Mm.
but a cost in a learning curve.
Correct. Yeah.
So I decide to, when you show me this Notion for our podcast,
Mm.
Arjun shared with me a link for the shared Notion, and then he shared me that you can do this and that. And I saw a lot of people they using for the training tracker, the nutrition tracker
Yeah.
as a tracker tool, but at the same time, yeah, I think that the most that I heard from Notion is a tracker tool for your project, for your goals, for your life, for your nutrition, for your exercise, so on and so
Correct.
forth.
Yeah.
Is that
But it's
Notion?
so much, it's so much
Mhm.
more than that. Yes, you
Okay.
can actually do tracking in Notion. So think of it like, when you're in a project, right? So what are your project requirements in terms of running the project? You do documentations,
Mhm.
right? You do tracking of progress, you do collaboration with your team.
Yeah.
So all these, you do reporting, right? So all these things combined, so you have different tools for that. Like, for example, in my most of the projects that I've worked on, Jira has been a number one project
Yeah.
management tool, right? So Jira, you can create stories, user stories, you can assign them to people, you can close them, mark them, like add statuses to it. But when it comes to collaboration, you use Microsoft Teams, for example, or Slack, for example, right? So you go to different tools for different requirements, right? For your documentation, maybe you will use SharePoint or Confluence,
Confluence. Yeah.
right? So what you're doing is basically you're going to different solutions for different requirements of your project. Now, what Notion, I believe, is, it's it's a one-stop shop for every need. So you can do documentation as well in Notion. You can do meetings as well in Notion, meeting notes and everything. You can do calendars. You can do project tracking. So you can create a Kanban board. Notion comes with a Kanban board, so you can create Kanban boards, and then there are different views inside that. So once you create a database as a Kanban board or as a table or whatever, you can then create different views from it. So if you want to track on the status basis, so how many user stories are sitting in progress, how many are done, how many are backlog, there is a view called backlog. There's a view called status view. So you can create different views in that database that suits your requirement. If you want to go epic wise, say for example you've got 8 epics and you want to filter on epic basis, so how many user stories belong to epic 1, how many user stories belong to epic 2, you can do that as well. So it's as simple as selecting what column or what field are you creating your view on. It's as simple as that.
I have a question for you, but
Yeah.
how that it works in a restricted environment?
Yeah, that is so when you talk about like it definitely works well if you have a team that has access to your workspace. So in Notion you can create a workspace and then you can add people. Like I added you to our data over coffee workspace, right? So I've got Softcraft Studio with workspace as well in Notion in the same account, but I have only shared data over coffee workspace with you. So in terms of restrictions and in terms of environments, like who accesses what and who can modify, who can do, you can create, you can control everything in it. And it just, yes, it does come with like, you can only assign to people who are in your workspace, who are in your team, so you can create a team. And then when it comes to adding your team members and adding other people in the workspace, you can, so Notion has different plans, so go for free plan or business plan. I don't know why it's blurring out. Sorry, just give me a second.
Yeah, it's all right. Which do you pay personally for Notion?
I do have Notion. I do have Notion paid version, but I don't pay for the business plan. So I pay for the individual plan, which is cheaper and satisfies my need, because I'm just a one man army doing everything. So I don't have team members and others.
But if you, for example, all right, you heavily rely on your side hustle, your side business, your side company into Notion.
Yes.
But how you combine that with the workspace? Because, for example, in where I work, there's a lot of restriction in the places from where we can access.
Yeah.
And for example, I have all my notes in OneNote, which is a environment from where I can share stuff, because Microsoft is allowed on my organization.
Yeah.
But how you do it with Notion? For example,
so
we used to for example, when we jump in something like Miro to do dashboard, when we jump into a new technology, when people get excited into it, then you end up, you have 100 people that you work with, but 10 of them they use in this one, the other 10 are using this other one, and this it become quite tricky. How
I think that will always be the case when you are introducing a new technology or a new app or a new solution, right? That some people will resist that change. So and some people will welcome that change. So they will be like, okay, sure, yeah, we want to try the new app. We want to explore it. But some people will be like, no, we are very comfortable with how we do things and we don't want to change, because it is a learning curve for them. And yes, I mean, not everybody is open to that steep learning curve. And if things are, so there is a saying like, if it ain't broken, don't fix it, right? So if things are working as they are, then why introduce a new tool? It adds to the cost in terms of time as well, because you need to train people who are not familiar with the new tool. So, and then also when you talk about like restricted, so most of the technologies, like it comes to your company as well, in what project you're working on, whether they are okay and open to introducing that new technology. Because the project that I'm working on currently, we can use Notion.
Yeah,
There's no harm,
your
right?
customer doesn't support Notion in their network, for example.
Yeah, correct. But then I feel like let's not go that big in terms of organization size. I
Okay.
believe that Notion will be a really good tool for startups and for smaller teams
Okay.
because you've got greater control in smaller projects. You've got greater control. You've got less people, so you don't need to like don't scale it up instantly. Start with small. Like always, it's a very good tip. Start with small, see if it is working for you, and if it is, then scale eventually, slowly and gradually. But I feel like for people like us, for entrepreneurs who have their full-time job and their side hustles, I think their side hustle organization can be managed by Notion. So I use it heavily for my Softcraft Studio. I've created a database where I have all my topics listed in, and then I can add tags, or I have a filter in terms of roles. So for example, I as part of as part of Softcraft Studio, I create templates, right? So some of these templates are on Notion. So they are Notion based templates. So I create those templates on Notion as well, and then sell them on Notion and on Etsy. So that is one thing that you.
Sell them on Notion.
Yeah. So Notion has its own marketplace as well. So
Okay.
for example, if I go into Notion and I want to create this fitness tracker that you were talking about, right? So a lot of people are using Notion for their journaling and their fitness tracking and then lifestyle admin, right? So if you want to create a template of your own, more than happy to. If you don't want to, and if you don't have that much time, you can go to the Notion marketplace and then buy somebody else's template that they're selling. So they have done the work for you. They have created a beautiful template, beautiful dashboard. You just have to go in, feed in the numbers, and then you'll see all the charts and graphs and everything. And Notion has, so when you create a database, you get different views that I was talking about. One of those views is charts as well. So if you're on a paid if you're on a paid plan, then you get, I think there's some limit to it, but you can actually create the charts as well. So on free, I think you can only create one chart in your workspace.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
If
but
if you hear my mouse click, it's because meanwhile you talked, I'm just exploring
yeah,
a
yeah,
bit
yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
the template. I haven't heard that you have
There's a
the template, but I have before that you keep on that. I just want to tell you a challenge that I have, and tell me if I can solve it with Notion. Okay.
okay, sure.
All right. I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
I go to the gym Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the first thing that I do, I go to the gym and I go to Google Sheet.
Right. Right.
Probably not that good. And then I have my weight tracking tool. My weight tracking cheat. It's not even a tool. It's just a cheat. And so I put the weight, blah, 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 the reps and everything. I have my workout plan there. All right. Yeah. So that one gone. But then there used to be a time that we used to track my calories with something called FitnessPal.
Mm-hmm.
FitnessPal.
Yep.
Which is app to track your calories, because I used to train, but not any longer, so I don't longer using it. But then you want to track that you are meditating 5 minutes a day. All right.
Right.
So then on Mondays, I also do LinkedIn posts for my own or for my business, and I schedule it. Yeah. So I have even here. I have an initiative schedule on my on my wall that I can see that. Depending on the day, I have different activities.
Yeah.
How easy
is
to track everything in Notion without plunging in other more tasks? Because I seen that when I put this myself in isolated task, I can focus. But for example, if I am in the gym and I start to see that later I need to do LinkedIn post, later I need to do this, later I do need this. I get a bit overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I seen that those apps that integrate everything in one place
Mm.
makes me overwhelmed a little bit. So
Right.
that's what I like, this separation of calendar. I have multiple calendar. Probably it's
Yeah.
of course become quite messy,
Yeah.
but for me, I manage better the overwhelmness to see everything in one place. For me, I used to dream about this, to have
Yeah.
everything in one place,
Yeah.
but
But
now
then, yeah,
it became like, oh, I can see that I have this, I have that, I have this, and that, and then you
it
mix it
can
all
become
together. All right.
overwhelming.
So tell me your experience. How Notion is the only app that you use for tracking?
Um, yeah, so Notion has, like I said, when you create a database, right, you can create different views. And again, one of those views is a calendar view. So what you do is you create a content calendar that so I have a content calendar in my Notion that I
Mhm.
use for tracking, okay, what date, what content needs to go out, what would be the platform, and stuff like that. So yes, you can do that. So if you have your on Mondays, you do LinkedIn post, right? So you can add those LinkedIn posts and then their dates, and then you can do the calendar view, and then you can also print those calendars and everything, so you can export them.
And so this calendar,
Hmm.
it fits. For example, if I have my spreadsheet for weights on Google Sheet,
Yeah.
could I have a sheet on Notion that is later reflected somehow that I completed in a calendar view?
Yes, I think you can do that. So your sheet would be you would create your sheet as a database, right? And then you can have a calendar view of that database. So when you mark your activity as done in the database, right? So you can decide what fields to show on the calendar view as well. So when you go to the calendar view, you can say that, okay, I want to show the status as also. So if it is marked as done, then you can color assign as well. So if it is done, then green. If it is in progress, then yellow. If it is not done, then maybe gray, blue, I don't know, whatever color you like. But there is so much that you can actually do. It is, yes, I agree, it is a very steep learning curve, because there are so many features, and there is so much functionality Notion offers. It can become a little overwhelming for somebody who is very new to Notion. But again, I would say start small. So maybe start using Notion as just your journaling pal, right? So just jot down ideas. So you use that, jot down ideas, and then one day you're like, okay, let's just create a table, and maybe add topics or something, or my activities for that I need to do for the next week. And then
But
once I start doing that, I mark them as done, done, done.
when you say creating a database, is
Hmm.
actually creating a database?
Yeah, yeah, it's actually creating a database.
How someone who doesn't know about databases deal with?
It just creates a database as a table, but you can like it calls it a database, but when you create it, you first create a table, and then it gives you an option of whether you want to turn it into a database or not, right? So when you create a database, then you can do a lot of things with that database, in terms of like creating views and tracking and stuff like that. But if you create a normal table, then you're limited to your options that you can do with the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds like, yeah, that sounds that you can get the basics, but also if you are, in case that you are advanced user, you can also get advanced stuff.
Correct.
And how much do you pay monthly?
Oh man, I have to check. There are so many payments that are
But
going on.
it's something
I just don't
like
remember.
$40 or $20 New Zealand
No,
dollars.
I think it's cheaper. Let me see
Yeah.
how much does Notion plan
Just
at
to
the
give
moment.
you some idea,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I think it's good
because
for me to also reflect on how much I'm paying.
yeah,
So
because
let's see.
as a as a someone who works with a lot of things on the site, you
Hmm.
ended up I pay for we discussed this some time ago that you pay $40 to ChatGPT, then you pay $20 for Outlook, sorry, Microsoft 365, then you
Yeah.
pay $20 for this and $40 for that. And then finally you ended up with a current for 100 or $120 a month
Yeah.
easily. But
Yeah.
also it's like a how you can get the most of the tools that you have.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
share my screen here.
Okay.
See, okay, so this is what the plans are. So they've got four plans. One is free, one is plus, one is business, and then one is enterprise. And then
Okay.
your features depends on what plan you're on. So as
US
you go
dollars, isn't it?
up, US dollars, yes, the prices are in US dollars. So
Okay.
free is for free, plus is for $10 per month per member per month.
Yeah.
Business is for $20 per member per month. So if you have a team of 5 members, then you're paying $20 for each member per month,
But it
right?
said that you can integrate with Asana, GitHub,
Correct.
Jira. Wow,
Correct.
there's
So there is so many integrations that you get, and Notion AI is another feature that they offer. So that is in every plan. So you get a trial of Notion AI in free, get a trial of Notion AI in plus, and
Mhm.
then in business you get Notion AI full-fledged agent enterprise search, which integrates with a lot of tools. You can see here Slack, GitHub, OneDrive, and Gmail, Confluence, Jira, SharePoint, everything, Teams. So all those meeting notes, AI meeting notes, so you can generate meeting notes as well. And then enterprises, again, you get LLM providers, it's also everything in business, and then you get extra features also. So it is a like comprehensive set of features that they offer, and I would definitely encourage everybody to go and check out Notion. Again, this is not a sponsored episode, so I am not
No, no,
getting
it's
paid.
okay because finally you
But
recommend
I just feel
of
like that
why
this is
you
a great, yeah, this is a great tool.
yeah, because you recommend what you do
Correct.
and I mean what you use and if you like it,
Yeah,
you love it.
correct.
But
Okay.
no, I like it. I think that I
Yeah, the
will could give it another
possibilities are
try.
endless. Yeah, as soon as you start spending money on it, right? The possibilities are endless. And if you're an entrepreneur with a small team,
Yeah.
maybe you're a startup founder with a team of 5 or 10 people, and and you want to try a one-stop shop tool for everything, then give this a go. It is amazing. And then you asked, so it also um, integrates with a lot of third party tools, and that way you can cross link stuff from, say, for example, I don't know, Slack or Jira or Teams. So you can do those tasks as well. And even the plus one has basic integrations. So you can see the plus plan, which is $10 per member per month, also gives you integration with Slack and Google Mail and Google Drive.
Right.
Yeah.
So now tell me the return of investment
Okay,
for it.
I'll stop sharing.
So
Yeah.
yep. Tell me the return of investment of it. How much do you think do you have achieved thanks to Notion nowadays?
Uh, in terms of time and mental clarity, a lot.
Yeah.
Because when everything is in one place and well organized and well structured, then I save time in figuring out where what is, and where's my that document, where's my this, okay, where was I last time, and what topics have I already covered. So for example, for this as well, for our podcast as well, we have a idea vault in our Notion page, right, which gives us the topics that we have already covered and the topics that we can cover in the future, right. So it gives me a mental peace and mental clarity, and that is the ROI that I am looking for, because along with the full-time 9 to 5 job, I only have a limited mental capacity that I can use for the other stuff, and I want to make sure that every little mental capacity that I have left after the full time is optimally utilized. So Notion helps me do that.
Mm. I think that by the end, yeah, this is what it comes to my reflection all the time. It's like within automation, within robots working for us, that you have your robot working for us, for you somehow. I have Power Automate, I have data pipelines that
Yeah,
work for me automatically.
yeah,
Finally, those are robot doing what I used to
yeah,
do, like
yeah.
pushing data manually. But sometimes I think that we should have all that time back,
Hmm,
and sometimes we tend to put more stuff in our plate.
hmm.
And I think that Notion can also could help you to have certain visibility
Yeah,
in all the things that you do. So
100%.
yeah, I think I will give it a shot, man. I will
Yeah,
give it a
yeah,
try and see. I will give it another opportunity, because when you get to a time that you've been using your own tools for a while, and there are certain people using certain, like it's like it started like with ChatGPT. Like there
yeah.
were some people saying that they were using it, say like, nah, it's not for me. I don't need it.
Hmm, hmm.
And then you ended up saying like, shit, I need to use it.
And now it's part of your life. Now you
Yeah, yeah,
can't
yeah. And
think of
now
living without it.
it's the same. Like I just concerned that I put Notion as another thing that I can't live with it.
Well,
To
see,
be fair, yeah,
I feel like it it all again depends on how you plan to use it.
yeah,
um, because so for example, if for me, right, I have different workspaces created in Notion. One is for Softcraft Studio, one is for Data Over Coffee, one is for my personal one. So I have one, that distinction of what I'm working on. When I'm in one workspace, I'm in that workspace. I don't get
okay.
distracted by any other thing that might
Mm.
pop up,
You
right?
isolate.
Correct. I'm isolated to that workspace. When I'm working on Data Over Coffee, episodes, editing, whatever, topics picking up, I'm only working on that workspace, and I'm not getting distracted by 1,000 other things. Now, if you can do it with other tools as well, so you can create a Google Drive. You can create one folder for Softcraft. You can create one folder for Data Over Coffee. One create one folder for personal, and then when you're in that folder, it's the same concept. It's in the end, it's the same concept. It's just I like it better in Notion, because it gives me a good visual clarity, and it keeps me sane, and it keeps me attended to what I'm working on, and then also having that visibility in different views, so I can see the progress. So if I have these many tasks to do, and I have I've been working on these ones, then I can add, because it integrates with calendars as well. You can add end date or target date. You can target yourself that I want to finish this by this date, right? So when you go to the calendar view, you have that task in your calendar, due date, that it is due today. So, and the best part is, so Notion also is cross platform available, and it's available on websites. It has its own app, so you can download that app in your mobile, and on the go you just check your calendar, Notion calendar, and see what I have due today. You can do that. That's one way. So in the morning when you get up, you just look at your Notion calendar, see what you have for today, and then you can plan your day ahead accordingly, right? So
Mhm.
that is another good thing that you can do with calendar views and stuff. Because if you have any other tools that you're using, then again you have to go in, log in, and then go through everything, and then see, okay, this is where I was. But I mean, it just takes For me, I think it will take more time than I would normally spend if I just go to Notion calendar and see what I have in agenda for today. And then that's it. And then I
Yeah.
can work on that. Yeah.
I think that, yeah, I think that coming back to the question that I gave it to you at the moment, before, sorry, about the isolation, this could solve. I could have a workspace for a personal workout. I have another
Correct.
workspace for something else, and then they could separate the matters
Yeah.
in a way that sort of to isolate, but at the same time, can you connect pull data from different workspaces into one database in Notion?
Um, I think you can. I think I haven't tried it, but I think you
Okay.
can. Um, just one thing I wanted to point out here was when I started Softcraft Studio, right? The Softcraft Studio website, which is now currently hosted on Squarespace, was initially built as a Notion website. It was the whole website that I had built on Notion. So
Oh wow!
that is one thing you can do. So
It
you can
helped
create,
you to
yeah,
draft it out.
huh?
It helped you to make a draft of your website.
Correct. No, it was
It
a
was
full
fully
website.
operational.
It was a full website, production website running on Notion. So you had buttons. When you click on, you go to a different navigation page. And so when you create templates, right, you can create templates. You can create very complicated templates in Notion. Like you can add formulas to it, you can add graphs and everything. So when you, so for example, your fitness tracker, if you feed in, okay, I had this many calories and stuff, your graph will automatically update according to whatever formula you are running behind it. So you can create very complex templates, and website can also be created as a template. Of course, you don't um, give that template to everybody, and you can, because there is an option when you create a when you create a template in Notion, right, you can share that template with others and allow others to duplicate that template in their workspace so that they can use it. So that way your template remains untouched and in its raw form, and anybody who goes and looks at your template, they have the ability to download or copy that template in their workspace, and then they can start using that template, which is what I was talking to you earlier about, that if you want to try templates and you don't have time for creating one, you can go on their marketplace, Notion marketplace, and then download the template that you like. But website is also one thing that you can build. I have built the website. It was good. It was fully functional, fully production ready website on Notion, and then I moved it to Squarespace because Notion doesn't have ability to do e-commerce on their, which is like you can sell templates on Notion in Notion's marketplace, but you can't sell anything on Notion built website yet. I don't think you can. So that was
Yeah,
the
but
reason why I
it's
wanted
just
to.
a thing of time, and we cannot
Yeah,
compare
yeah,
what
yeah. Of course,
Facebook used to do 10 years ago or
of
what
course,
you
of
can
course.
do with Facebook.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that it will be. So, if you could put two words or three words to Notion, what Notion does in summary?
I think one is Notion is an all-rounder solution.
Is that what? Sorry?
All-rounder solution. So
Okay.
one stop shop solution.
Organization
Which solution?
solution. I
Yeah.
mean, but it's a it's a one-stop shop solution for organization.
For individuals and
Okay.
small teams.
Okay.
I would still hesitate putting Notion in large organizations. I mean, if the organizations are open to it, then yeah, but then the migration from their existing use of tool to Notion would be a little bit complicated.
Mhm.
And I don't know how many people will be open to that shift in, because it is a completely different way of working, right? So there is a bit of a change management that will go in when you move from your current way of working to Notion, which is, but for smaller teams and for individuals, definitely give it a go. It's
Yeah.
amazing, and then as your team grows, then your Notion can grow with it. So the scalability is always there. The option is always there. As you grow, you can go for a business plan. As you grow, you can go for an enterprise plan. Start with individual plan, free plan, go with, then try the individual plan. If the free plan is working for you and then you feel like you can take on more, then try the individual plan. It's $10 per member per month, 10 USD. But for individual, it will be good if you can sort your life, because I do in Notion. Then why not go for it? Oh, fun
Yeah.
fact: do you know Notion was actually Notion has been in the market for more than 9 years now, 10 years now.
Jeepers.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's not a new solution. So it was actually it was it was initially launched in 2013, and it was a very buggy and very unsuccessful launch. So in 2013, it was a very unsuccessful launch and it didn't go as planned. So it had lots of bugs and lots of issues, the app. So what the founders did were they reworked, like they redesigned the whole app, and they launched it again in 2016. And then since 2016 till today, it has changed massively. But it's been in the market for quite some time now. It's not a new tool.
There's a cool call out for entrepreneurs like us. It's like sometimes it
Yeah.
doesn't go
Oh
well in the
yes.
first year, to second
Don't
year
give
or
up.
third
Yeah.
year, as Notion just did.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just a matter of how you are presenting. Because I think that probably the founders, which I don't know who they are, but
Mm.
they have this idea they want to have this full organization tool,
Yeah.
and it was completely wrong design or wasn't right for the market for that time. But now they come back with this problem, and this is what I feel sometimes. I was having a conversation today with someone in an event, and they say like, I don't know which business I would like to do,
Mm.
and I don't know how to make money, how to create a company, how to create my side hustle. And I say like, think on a problem that you have or
Yeah.
someone really close to you that you have,
Yeah. That you
and
want to solve.
I think on a way to help it or solve it. I
Mm.
catch up with a guy the other day, and he built a solution that it helps health practitioners like your GP
Yeah.
or your physiotherapist, to give you the instructions that you
Mm.
need for you to follow for you to follow the steps on your prescription, for example, or the
Right.
things that you need to do to get better. For example, you have an
Right.
injury, you
Yeah.
need to do this, you need to take one pill in the morning, one pill in the night. And he developed a AI tool
Nice.
to
That's
help to
good.
this. So meanwhile, you do the agreement that this conversation will be we record
Mm.
this session, and then you ended up with a plan for you to
Mm.
track it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a tool that he solved it because his mom, she's a doctor, his
Yeah.
sister is a doctor, and they have this constant problem that they need to have the patients to follow the treatment.
Yeah.
And so then you ended up, how come someone could imagine something like that? It becomes like from the problems that you see around
Exactly.
here.
I think, and that's how most of the startups are born, right? Most of the
Yeah.
businesses are born. They are born to solve one problem. See, there are two ways. I feel like, and the second one is a little bit funny, but it is true. One is you identify a problem that is currently there in the market, and then you solve it. You create a product that solves that problem. The second one is you create a problem in the market, and then you create a problem, and then you create a solution that solves that problem.
But do you think
Both.
that is create more effort, the last one? because
Huh?
you need to show to someone
No,
that the problem
see,
exists.
when I say you create a problem, you don't actually create a problem, but you make the market realize that the problem exists,
Ah, yeah.
right? So
I
sometimes
I
what
I
happens
I
is
need a I need
yeah,
a I need a 7 seat car, but that one never exists before, and now you want that 7 seat car, but when the market turned up with those kind of cars, there was something like really small market.
yeah,
But then now people say like, actually, I'm upscaling to
e-
get a.
exactly. So yeah, I mean, it's a very good concept, because my my first my first master's was in marketing from Pune, India, IT and marketing. So the marketing concepts are really amazing if you actually get into it. Maybe in some episode we'll cover a bit of it, but yeah, but the other thing is that you create a problem, or you make the market realize that they need something, and then you provide it. One is the market knows what they need, but there's nothing in the market that is solving that problem. So you create that solution and you solve that problem. But the other is the market doesn't like. Um, what example can I give? Okay, iPads maybe. So
Sorry.
there were iPads.
Yep.
So for example, there were computers.
Ah, they have a really rough launch at the beginning.
Yeah,
iPads.
yeah,
Yeah.
correct. So they had computers, which was like, okay, cool. You have your personal computer sitting in your home, and you had mobile phones or your phones. Now technically, we didn't need that merge of the two. The
That's the
computer
reason
could
because
the
iPads phones
yeah,
became bigger and laptops became lighter antenna.
yeah, correct. So laptops were, um, eventually when like laptops became your portable computers, right?
Hmm?
And then mobile were separate. So technically you didn't needed iPads. There was no purpose of iPad. There was no specific purpose that iPads were solving that laptop couldn't or mobile couldn't. So there was no technically a need for iPads. But what Apple did was, okay, here's a product. You need it, and we are providing it. And people were like, oh shit, yeah, I need an iPad. So the need was not there. But yet, if you look at iPad, it's a very successful product.
I seen that it took a while. I think
Yeah.
I am early adopter in certain technologies, and I think that every time that Apple releases something, I tend to try it. But of
Mm.
course, that those VR glasses, they were just crazy expensive, so I
Oh yeah.
didn't want to be a first adopter for one of those ones.
Yeah.
But I always have an iPad, and
Mm.
I feel for me it's the middle ground between the iPhone and a Windows computer PC.
Mm.
So because your company gives you a Windows computer PC, but you doesn't have all the features, so an iPad gives me that space between.
Yeah.
So that's what I found. But this is not about the iPad itself.
But
It's
yeah,
like
but
the concept of someone that I found the utility on that because I already bought it. So as you say,
correct.
they
So
created
you
something that they
identified,
needed.
yeah, you identified the need when that product actually came into existence.
Yeah, I didn't have
Before
the
that,
problem before.
you didn't know. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm talking about. That there was no problem until the product was launched, and you realize that there is a problem that you need to solve with this product.
So Notion did pretty much the same. You didn't knew that you need so much organization, and now you have all this organization available.
Yeah,
And
I think. Well, you can say that, but I think, yeah, I think most products do come with that clarity of the problem that they're solving. So if they can communicate the problem and the solution, then I feel like it's a good product. And if they can deliver on that solution, then yeah, good.
oh,
All right,
So
cool.
I will wrap it up the episode
Yes.
now. So takeaways from data. Someone who works in data and use Notion. For me, the takeaway will be is a good project management tool and is a good organization tool. And for example, also if you work as a contractor, as a consultant, and you have multiple customers, also it could be a good way for you to organize the job. So
Yeah.
that would be my three takeaways as a data specialist who use Notion. Do you want to share three takeaways? Quick
Um,
takeaways to close up.
I think it's a really great life admin management tool. I
Mm-hmm.
would say, right. So you can actually manage your individual personal stuff along with your professional requirements. So it covers both. It can be helpful in both settings. Second, it is great if you want everything in one place and do not get overwhelmed with it. Because sometimes, yes, like Ramon earlier mentioned, it does happen that when everything is in one place, sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. So if you are somebody who likes things to be in one place, like me, so that it is easier organized and managed, and I know where to look at for stuff, then give it a go. I think the third one is start small. Yeah,
Okay.
so start small. Just try the free plan first. Don't go ahead and buy the enterprise level plan because you want everything. No, try the free plan first. If it works for you, good, happy. If you need to move up the plan, then only do it. Otherwise, for basic work, free plan works great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I think that with that we'll be closing up this episode. Thank you guys for listening us one more time. As we mentioned before multiple times, like if there is a topic that we like to us to discuss it, and even though if we don't have experience, we'll have a look and see what we can bring it to you. So thank you guys. And this is the episode around 6 or 7. So I hope that you keep enjoying them
Yeah.
and we catch
Let
up
us
next
know.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Let
you,
us
Arjun.
know how the episodes are going, whether you're finding them valuable or not, and it will be great for us. The feedback is always welcomed. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Ramon.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
Arjun. We
Bye.
catch up later. Thank you, mate. Ciao.